This segment brought to you by SureCrop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
So what does it mean to develop the system? First, we looked at what's been done in the past. Cattle trace is not about comparing this technology versus that technology, or this tag versus that tag. We decided that we think the future in our RFID tags is an ultra-high frequency tag, and we decided to go with that technology. And specifically, there's only one tag that is officially approved by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and so that's the tag we went with for the pilot project. Now, when cattle trace is a disease traceability system in the commercial industry, we are hopeful that there are other tags and other manufacturers' tags that are in the system, and the technology is capable of reading that. But for the purpose of the pilot project, we have one tag. The next piece of developing the system are the readers and the infrastructure. Again, we're using an ultra-high frequency tag, and a lot of folks are familiar with the old RFID button tags where you've got to pull the ear and get the wand up really close to the calf to read that number. This technology, an ultra-high frequency technology, isn't a new technology. It's a little bit newer in the beef cattle industry, but here it's the best way I can describe it is we all know what the K-tag is like on turnpikes in the state of Kansas. Similarly, this technology will allow you to put readers at different spots at the feed yards and at the livestock markets and at the packers, and you can read multiple animals at the same time, and when they're moving at their normal gait. We've seen calves going through an alleyway at a feedlot as they've gotten off a truck, and that reader system is capturing every one of those tags. The other type of reader is a handheld reader, and it looks like a radar gun that you would see a highway patrolman have on his car. And with this reader, you pull the button and just scan it out over the crowd. And if you all had those tags in your ears, I would pull the button once, go like that, and it would capture every one of you. And you could get up and move around, and it would do the same. And so the third piece of our technology and developing our technology was the database. And with our database, it's a privately held database, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But as I talked about it, this needs to be simple and can't be burdensome. And cattle trace is entirely focused on disease traceability. So we are actually only interested in the minimal data necessary for disease traceability purposes. That includes an individual animal identification number, a GPS location, and a date and time stamp. I don't care the birth date, the birth weight, how you vaccinated it, how you fed it. For disease traceability, we don't need that information. There are potential capabilities in the future that producer A might work with feed yard B and packer C to pull information through the supply chain, and that information we can use this infrastructure and pull that through. But for cattle trace and disease traceability, we don't need it. So our database will have 3 key data points in it: the individual animal ID, the date and time stamp, and a GPS location. And that's all. So where are we currently? Where does the project stand? We are in the process of recruitment. That is where we are heavy in right now. We started at the end of the supply chain with our packers, and I'm excited to say that we have all 3 major packers in the state of Kansas participating in the pilot program. So whether calves go to Cargill, Tyson, or National Beef, they will have reader systems at the trolley that will be the terminal read. And once those tags are read right there, they're officially retired in the system. We know that animal is no longer in the supply chain. The middle steps, I would say, the feed yards and the livestock markets, we really recruited those at the same time. And we looked at where existing business relationships are. So we asked our feed yards, and there we have 13 who are participating. We simply said, where do you procure cattle? For those of you that buy cattle at livestock markets, where do you buy cattle?
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.